time is precisely 6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Dilini Gunawardana and read by Ramesh Pires. The headlines. The President attends business round-table discussions on economic revival. 100 million rupees allocated to develop the infrastructure facilities of temples. The fuel quota will be increased from next month. A new pension scheme will be introduced in the future. The public is warned about the risk of a possible dengue epidemic. In news overseas, the US says Russia cannot win in Ukraine. In sports cricket, IPL 2023, Mumbai Indians will take on Gujarat Titans tonight. Now the local news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe actively engaged in a crucial business roundtable on Sri Lanka's economic revival and opportunities for Japanese enterprise, where he presented the nation's commitment to stabilize and liberalize the economy, while actively inviting new foreign ventures. The event, jointly organized by JETRO, Japan-Sri Lanka Business Corporation, and the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Japan, aimed to strengthen economic ties between the two nations. During the discussion, President Wickremesinghe fervently outlined the ongoing efforts undertaken by Sri Lanka to restore stability and openness to its economy, presenting an inviting climate for foreign investment. He discussed the various measures and reforms being implemented to create a conducive business environment for potential investors. Recognizing Japan's significance as a vital economic partner, President Wickremesinghe emphasized the mutual benefits that can be derived from increased collaboration between the two nations. Sri Lanka's strategic location and skilled workforce were highlighted as key advantages, providing a gateway for Japanese companies to expand their operations in the region and leverage the country's emerging economic opportunities. The Secretary to the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Somaratna Vidana Patirana, says that according to the instruction of the President, 100 million rupees has been allocated to develop the infrastructure facilities of the temples across the country to mark the celebration of Pusan Full Moon Poe Day. He expressed these views taking part in a press conference today. 3.1 million rupees has been allocated for the National Pusan celebration to be held in Anuradhapura. Programs are underway to construct Sunday school buildings, temples and shrines across the country. Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijesekara, says the fuel quota currently allowed on the National Fuel Pass system will be increased from next month. Taking to Twitter, the minister revealed that the current quota will be increased for all vehicles from the fuel price revision scheduled to take place in June. The relevant decision was taken yesterday at a meeting held with the Marketing, Finance and Commercial Divisions of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, during which the CPC cargo and distribution plans of finances were also reviewed. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Continuing with local news. Consultant physician Dr. Ananda J. Wickrama says that there is a risk of a possible onset of a dengue epidemic with the coming monsoon. There has been a significant increase in the dengue cases reported within the last couple of months. He also mentioned that 60 to 70 patients come to the infectious diseases hospital for treatment daily and that the number is growing rapidly. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardana informed the governors to intervene to take necessary measures to prevent the spread of dengue. In a discussion held yesterday, the Premier gave instructions and said that it is necessary to continue the ongoing disease control programs through the regional health medical officers. Pastor Jerome Fernando today filed a fundamental rights petition with the Supreme Court, seeking an order preventing the Criminal Investigation Department from arresting him. The Inspector General of Police, DIG in charge of the CID Director and the officer in charge of the Cybercrimes Unit of the CID have been named as the respondents of the fundamental rights petition. Pastor Fernando, who filed the fundamental rights petition through his attorneys, says the CID has initiated an investigation into a comment he had made during his sermon on the 30th of April this year. Investigations are carried out pursuant to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the Penal Code. And that concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to the main news story, State Minister of Social Empowerment Anupa Pascal has revealed that a new pension scheme will be introduced in the future. Accordingly, a contributory pension scheme is to be introduced by the government for state sector employees in a bid to reduce the burden on the country's finances. The novel scheme will be funded by both the employer and the employee, with the former contributing 12% and the latter 8%. Speaking to the media in Kalutara on the matter, Minister Pascal explained that such a system has been proven successful by many countries in the world. And that came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight this evening, the Gampaha District Secretariat warned that the spread of dengue in the Gampaha district could reach alarming levels in the next few months. According to the data released by the National Dengue Control Unit, the highest number of dengue cases is reported from the Gampaha district, which is 22% of the total number of dengue cases. And that came to you in Watchlight. Moving on to the bulletin of world news. First, the headlines. The US says Russia cannot win in Ukraine. Elon Musk's brain chip firm obtained US approval for human study. Scientists warn climate crisis could trigger giant tsunamis from Antarctica. And now the world news in detail. General Mark Milley, chairman of the US Joint Chiefs of Staff, states that Russia will not achieve a military victory in Ukraine and Kiev's forces are unlikely to push back all Russian troops from their territory anytime soon. He added that Russia's original strategic objectives, including toppling the government in Kiev, are not achievable militarily. General Milley is the highest-ranking military official of the United States. Elon Musk's brain chip firm says it has received approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to conduct its first tests on humans. The billionaire's Neuralink implant company wants to help restore people's vision and mobility by connecting brains with computers. It says it does not have immediate plans to start recruiting participants. According to a new study, giant underwater landslides induced in Antarctica by the climate crisis might lead to tsunami waves with the potential of causing a substantial loss of life far from their origin. Researchers discovered that between 3 to 15 million years ago, during a past period of global heating, loose sediment layers slipped in Antarctica, triggering giant tsunamis that ravaged the shores of New Zealand, Southeast Asia and South America. Amid current human-driven rapid climate change leading to rising sea levels and shrinking ice sheets, scientists warn that underwater landslides in Antarctica may once again generate tsunami waves that stretch across the Southern Ocean. To conclude this World News Bulletin, headlines once again. The US says Russia cannot win in Ukraine. Elon Musk's brain chip firm obtained US approval for human study. And scientists warn climate crisis could trigger giant tsunamis from Antarctica. And that concludes World News.
Development News.
Moving on to development news. Fisheries Minister Douglas Devananda says fishermen in Sri Lanka spend between 5,000 and 10,000 rupees per day on kerosene for boat engines. Hence, to reduce that cost, a private engineering firm in Sri Lanka has started to produce boat engines operated by batteries. The minister mentioned this while participating in the distribution of kerosene received from China to fishermen and battery-powered engines for fishing activities. The Chinese government gifted 4.5 million litres of kerosene to Sri Lankan fishermen. 27,000 fishing boats across Sri Lanka have received 150 litres per boat, free of charge. And that was Development News. The IPL 2023 will see its second qualifier match of this season between Gujarat Titans and Mumbai Indians later today. The match will be played at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. Rohit Sharma is the captain of the Mumbai Indians, while the Gujarat Titans will be led by Hardik Pandya. The match will commence at 7:30 p.m. local time, and that was Sports News.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB I Am, a plan for your dream.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Moose Clothing Company announced their partnership with Sri Lanka Cricket as they seal the rights as the official cricket clothing sponsor for the period of 2023 and 2027. Under the new partnership, Moose will provide official cricket clothing for Sri Lanka's national team during the upcoming tournaments. Marking the partnership between the two entities, the official ODI jersey for the upcoming Sri Lanka vs Afghanistan men's ODI series was revealed during a special ceremony conducted in Colombo. And that was business news.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
In economic news, Assistant U.S. Trade Representative of the South and Central Asia, Brendan Lynch, has informed that the United States is ready to explore the potential investment opportunities in Sri Lanka. Mr. Lynch, who is currently on a visit to Sri Lanka, has met with State Minister of Finance Shahan Semasinga for a discussion at the Ministry of Finance today and expressed that the U.S. is ready to expand trade between the two countries. And that was economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Weather report.
And finally, moving on to the weather report, several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. A few showers will occur in the northwestern province and in the Mana and Jaffna districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at few places in the eastern and Uba provinces during the evening or at night. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The President attends business roundtable discussions on economic revival. 100 million rupees allocated to develop the infrastructure facilities of temples. The fuel quota will be increased from next month. A new pension scheme will be introduced in the future. The public is warned about the risk of a possible dengue epidemic. In news overseas, the US says Russia cannot win in Ukraine. And in sports, IPL 2023, Mumbai Indians will take on Gujarat Titans tonight. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.